Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, I'm excited to show you how to create a solution that takes customer feedback to the next level using AI to analyze the sentiments in real time. This system integrates Microsoft Forms, Power Automate, and Dataverse to deliver intelligent insights seamlessly. But before we dive into building it, let's see it in action. So on my screen here, I've got the Microsoft Form. So I'll just provide quick feedback. So I'll give it my name. And my feedback here is that the service was okay, but there's room for improvement. And I'll just give it 2 stars. When I click on submit, what will happen now, a flow will be triggered, as you can see here. If I'm to refresh here, you see that 7 seconds ago a flow was triggered. And if I'm to go to my application here and just quickly refresh, you also see that Steve has popped up. And if I'm to open Steve, there's a sentiment analysis that has been done by the artificial intelligence, and then to give us the overview of what exactly the results of this feedback that has been provided here. So that's what we want to build, to develop today. So without further ado, let's dive in. Here is the Microsoft form that we use to collect the customer feedback. It's simple yet effective, just asking for the name, email, feedback text, and service rating. Once the customer submits the response, the form will trigger a Power Automate flow that will analyze the sentiments of the feedback. And then it will categorize it as either positive, neutral, or negative. And then when that information has been analyzed, it will be archived and stored in this model-driven application here, where we have got the feedback form. It will just keep the same information here. The reason why we want to make sure that we have an application, a model-driven application, is because you can now build on top of it to say, can you also add other processes in terms of following up with a negative feedback, or maybe following up with the positive feedback, to ensure that which areas you can also improve. So to keep track of all those history of actions that you took in terms of a feedback that was submitted, it's better for you to have it under one application. That's what we have here. With the form and app ready, the next step is creating a flow that bridges them. This flow will capture the feedback from the Microsoft form, run the text through AI Builder's sentiment analysis model, and then save the results in the database table. So in our solution here, what I'll do is I'll click on new, and then we have to build an automation, which is a cloud flow, and it's automated. Give it a name, and our trigger is when a new response has been submitted from the Microsoft form. Here we'll have to select for which form are we tracking here. So it's a customer feedback. After that, we have to get the form's responses. From the same customer feedback form, and the ID we're getting from the trigger. After we've gotten the actual feedback details, now we have to run it through the sentiment analysis. So the sentiment analysis is a pre-built model that is under the AI Builder connection. So just select connect AI Builder and then search for sentiment. So here you have got analyze positive or negative sentiment in text. So I'll select that one. And I'll also specify the language, as we're using English here, and which text are we analyzing. So remember, on our customer feedback form, we had the feedback section, which is field number 3 here. So here you can type in to say, okay, the service was great or the service wasn't good. That text that you type in here, it has to now run through the sentiment analysis to give us if it's something that is positive or negative. So you just click on text and then select the feedback from the form submissions here. But if we end it there, then we don't necessarily have a complete solution, because the flow will run, it will be successful, it will just end at analyzing the sentiments. So now let's save the results into our database table so that we're able to see the information in our model-driven app. So let's add another last step, which is database connection, and this one is add a new row. In which table do you want to add this? So it's a feedback table, which is the customer feedbacks. And from here, let's just map the forms fields to the dedicated database fields here. Now that the flow is ready, let's test it out to ensure that everything works as expected. And I'll submit some sample feedback through the Microsoft form and watch how the flow processes the data, analyzes the sentiment, and updates the model-driven app. And now let's see it in action. On my form here, I'll just provide sample information. So this is a positive feedback. So upon submission, the flow has been triggered, and let's just refresh on our app, and you see that we have got the feedback that has popped up. So here it's 5/5, and you can see that the sentiment here is +1. I'll just test it out with something that is either negative or in the neutral. I'll submit another response. This one is just detailing how disappointed I was. Obviously this is in the negative, so if we are to go back to our app, refresh, see that Steve is disappointed. It has popped up here. If I'm to open it, you can see it's in the negative. Let's test it out with something that is somewhere in the middle, something that is in the neutral space. So I'll go back to my phone. Service was okay, but there's room for improvement, so I'll just give it 3 stars. Submit. All right, and here, as you can see here, it has also analyzed it to say this is neutral. So this is just an idea to give you a way of being able to categorize your feedback that you're getting from the clients. And obviously, if the data is coming into an app, it also gives you room for adding other process flows. Let's say follow-ups, customer feedback, customer inquiries, phone calls, and so on and so forth. So you can just build an app on top of the information that has been submitted. But what I wanted us to cover today is how we can use the pre-built AI models that are already in AI Builder to handle a few tasks that are automated. You don't have to have someone dedicated to someone dedicated to going through each and every feedback that has been submitted just to check if the feedback is in the sentiment of the feedback, right? So that's it. As of today, we've managed to successfully build an intelligent system that collects customer feedback, analyzes it for sentiment, AI Builder, and stores it in a structured way with Dataverse. And again, this system is perfect for gaining actionable insights and making data-driven decisions. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more Power Platform tutorials, and drop a comment if you have questions or ideas for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.